Good evening, everybody. A little bit of an experiment tonight. I'll be honest, not really sure how it's going to go. It's suggested on Twitter that I would do a watch along for tonight's game. Now, look, fundamentally, it's not something that I agree with. Watching somebody else watching football isn't something that's particularly I find particularly attractive. So we shall see how it goes. We'll also see how the feed goes. If me streaming out and then streaming in at the same time begins to affect my iFollow feed, obviously we'll cut it short. So I've got my iFollow feed up here. I've got kind of the latest scores, team news, a few bits and facts and figures up here as well. So hopefully I'll try and do as much as I can. I can't at the minute kind of sharing screens and stuff. That's all too technical for me. But what I hope is that a few of you who are out there who tend to watch this on your own, hopefully it'll make it a little bit more of an inclusive experience. If you want to come on and chat during the game even, and you've got a decent video connection and you think you can do it, I'm going to be happy to allow, kind of bring people in and out as well. Hopefully get somebody on at half time. So we shall see how it goes. The teams are not out as yet, which is standard because it's not kick-off time yet. Just in case anyone doesn't know, I've been looking at the prize money, and according to the internet, it could be 40 grand for winning tonight's game, which is a huge sum of money at this stage of the season. You know, make no bones about it. So there is plenty at stake. Obviously, people will have seen the team news by now. We're down to 4 subs, but just to go through that, it's Alex Palmer, Max Melbourne, Adam Jackson, Teo Eden, George Grant, Anthony Scully, Brennan Johnson, TJ Ioma, Liam Bridcut, captain, Robbie Gotson, Zach Elbazedi, and on the bench, Sam Long, Remy Howarth, Sean Rowan and Freddie Draper. Really annoys me when they put the numbers in order on a team sheet. It winds me up good and proper because you don't particularly know the formation. But one would imagine that it's Adam Jackson at centre-half with TJ Ayo, Max Melbourne on left, Robbie Gotts on the right. In the midfield, Liam Bridcut will be sitting, one would imagine, with George Grant and Teo Eden ahead of him. And then Elbazedi on the left, Brennan Johnson on the right, and Anthony Scully through the centre. And obviously, we've got Freddie Draper on the bench, somebody I'm quite excited about, actually, is young Freddie. I watched him in the Preston North End game. I have spoken of him. I've spoken about him to Sam Long in an interview yesterday. So I've heard a little bit about Freddie. I've got an article coming tomorrow on the youth team players. So I'm quite excited to see if he gets on. He's a burly number 9, for those who don't know his position. I'm told he holds the ball up well, presses well. He's got a nice finish on him. He finished with real comfort against Preston North End in the FA Youth Cup. So it'd be nice to see him get a run out. And this is the sort of trophy where players do get their first minutes. If you look down any number of players, be it the ones from the Premier League, the likes of Morgan Roberts, who made his Manchester City debut of sorts for their under-21s, obviously, but it was his first senior football, so to speak. Actually, I wonder if that is senior football. If you play for the under-21s against the senior side, who knows? So the teams are out. Let's just have a quick look and see who we have watching. So evening to Will Alfred, evening to Kate, evening to Sean and Adam. My good friend Carl is there. Not seen Carl in ages. How you doing, pal? All right. Derek Carlisle, good evening to you as well, my friend. Good evening to Dom. Thank you for watching. Always on. Good evening to Mr. Wakefield. And good evening to Andrew, James, Thomas, Robinson. You're just being greedy with the names there, lad. An evening to Windy Miller. Right. So I'm going to try not. I don't know what the lag or the delay's like, so you'll have to tell me on that as well. I'm going to not do full commentary either. It's more just kind of watching what's happening and passing judgment. I assume you're all watching the game as well. Hopefully so. Guys, looking at the ground, it's harsh. It's harsh thinking that we haven't been there for how long. So there's Kate there saying not actually watching the game, so trying to provide an amazing commentary. Well, I wasn't actually going to do a full commentary. I'm not sure about broadcasting rights to do a full commentary. But the game's underway, and we shall see how we go. We need to start better than we did against Peterborough. Obviously, it was a little bit, I'll take that out for the time being. Against Peterborough was a little bit of a slow start. The first free kick for a foul on Bridcut, which is ironic given the fouls that he was obviously committing the other night. So, I mean, both these sides are much changed from what you'd expect in the league. For us, I think that's really through COVID. For them, I think it's, you know, through fixture congestion. If they got through to every round, oh, that's an awful ball forward. First, kind of a half chance, but yeah, next to nothing. So these slack passes, we do see them. I think when you play out from the back, you always kind of get the odd pass go astray. I was quite surprised with the passing stats, to be honest, that I saw on that's another foul in the middle of the park. Quite surprised with the passing stats that I saw on for Saturday's game. One player actually only made 5 passes the whole game, but other than that, it's an early chance. But no, nothing. But a little bit, certainly started better, I think, than we did on Saturday. Looks like I've got about a 30-second delay, so bear with us on that. Oh, that should have gone square. Oh, should have been 1-0 to City. Already should have been 1-0 to City. Great chance for Brennan Johnson. He's got in down on the left-hand channel. I thought he was going to score. George Grant could have pulled it across there. He's fed it into Johnson. He's rounded the keeper and it's just run too wide. Oh, that's all. Such a shame. Such a shame. Lovely ball from George Grant, though. Lovely ball. I mean, he unpicks defences. Such a good player. So corner doesn't beat the first man. It's a good start, though, from City. It's a decent start. Good spell of possession. Accrington haven't really had any of their possession as yet. Not serious possession. And it just goes back and we start again. Obviously, we do this quite a bit, and I actually quite like it. It's an unusual long ball forward, actually, there from Palmer. I don't mind going back to start again. It's patient build-up. I like it. It'll be interesting to see how Zach Elbazedi does tonight as well, I think, because he's a player who, he definitely did well in the last round, but he's barely had a kick since then as well. But with Archibald out, big chance for him. Sorry. I was attacked, but no, it's going to run harmlessly across. It's a decent start from City then, at the minute. Decent start. Keep you up to date with some of the other scores as well in our division. Liverpool aren't playing, Kate, so I can't tell you how Liverpool are doing. In the Premier League, Sheffield United, Newcastle drawing 0-0. League One, Charlton and Rochdale. What time are they kicking off? 7 o'clock. That should already have kicked off. That's 0-0 as well. The Cods playing. No, Scunny are playing Salford. Fleetwood look like they're going to knock Hull out this competition. It's a shame that we could have done with Hull staying in the competition, to be honest. Because, the more games our rivals have to play, the more tired they're going to get. So, oh, that's a lovely touch. Grant again. Scully, it's got across. Oh, Zach Elbazedi fired that over. Do you know what? That should have been 1-0. Lovely football. Lovely football. Grant to Scully. Scully's come down the right-hand side. He's fizzed it into just between penalty area and 6-yard area. Elbazedi arriving on edge of the 6-yard box on the corner. Should have scored. Grant on the ball again. No. Oh, that's not a great ball. Oh, played. It's all Lincoln at the minute. Elbazedi again. Oh, can't find the space for a shot. It's a shame. What a start. 4 minutes in. A couple of good opportunities for the Imps. Accrington like to play out from the back as well, so there could be opportunity for us there, I think. It's hard, I didn't particularly research the Accrington players. I'm just having a quick look down their squad list. There's only really Ben Barkley, I think, I've got any knowledge of at all, which without Mark Hughes maybe as well. So a bit of possession at the minute for Accrington. 5 minutes in, it's a good start for City. Very good start. Very good. So Dave Johnson, how you doing, mate? Afternoon. Simon Chant is going to fill in, or Sid, sorry. He's going to fill in if we got knocked out of the cup. We've got a good chance. Accrington. Oh, do you know what? He could have gone down there. That's lucky. Their lad Fenland got past Ioma like he wasn't there. Ioma gave him a little nudge. He could quite easily have gone down. It was quite fair play, to be fair. Nice. Kate, seemingly random question for you. We have a few fringe players on. If we do end up going up, how many of the current squad do you think can make the step up successfully? Really, really interesting question. Because I think when you've got so many young players as we have, you would hope that most of the youngsters could make the step up. You would hope that they'd been bought with kind of a future planning in place. I mean, looking down today's starting, looking at today's starting lineup, I mean, you know, there's a few loan players in there. One or two of the fringe players, like your Howarths and your Elbazeddis, may struggle, but then, you know, arguably, are they fixtures at the moment? Oh. Grant again, do you love him in that little role, in the kind of the 8 role? Such a good player, such a good player. So Stu Wells, any reason why Aaron Lewis isn't even on the bench? I would imagine that we were trying to fix Aaron up with another club. He's already played for Newport. I think if he was on the bench for us, he wouldn't be able to come on, because if he comes on, you play for 2 teams and then he can't go anywhere else this season. So that's really with the kind of getting him, great respect, not off the wage bill, but you know, potentially another club fixed up and permanent football. So doesn't surprise me. And yeah, it does look like Max Melbourne's playing left centre half. So is Teo Eden playing left back then? Robbie Gott's in midfield. Okay, I would have imagined. Sorry, that was just Don Clark asking Melbourne at centre back. It looks like Melbourne at centre back to me. Left back Teo Eden still. And TJ Ioma, the only player now to have started every game in this competition for Lincoln this season. I think George Grant has played in every game. But came on as a sub in one of them. Harry Anderson started 4. Remy Howarth started 4 as well. So just TJ Ioma, who I don't think has been bad for a for a young loan player. Sid has come on. Get lucky when Forest signed Grant on a contract. What a player. We did get lucky. Well, I don't think you get lucky. I think it was hard work by the recruitment team. Oh, that's a terrible ball out by Jackson. It's a little bit, I'd say, scrappy as such at the minute. But after the start that we had, I think it was always going to be quite hard to keep up that pace. And just in case you're just joining us, City should have scored probably twice. Brennan Johnson rounding the keeper, but just ended up going a little bit out wide. Couldn't get the angle on the ball. And Zach Elbazetti from Anthony Scully's wicked centre, firing over when he arrived. But let's be fair to him, he arrived at the right time, back stick. You know, and I'd rather we miss chances and don't create them. So let's have a look. Melbourne, that's a good ball over to Elbazetti. See what he can do now. Oh, nothing. Can't even get a cross on it. He's just let it run out. Struggling at the minute, but a couple of 9 minutes in, he's not played a lot of football. It's hard, I think, for sometimes for a player to get into the run of the game. Adam Barlow, do you think Leeds will recall Gotts if he doesn't get more league starts? I wouldn't be surprised. I did wonder that. I think Gotts has played 4 league starts, 3 from the bench, and this is his started both FA Cup games and his 3rd start in this competition as well. So he hasn't had an awful lot of football, unfortunately. Interesting to see him in the middle of the park today, because I think that's his preferred position as well. I think it was Rochdale. Was it Rochdale where he played? Absolutely superb. He had a really good game, Rochdale. City zipping it about nicely at the moment, as you would expect, against the side, and Accrington side that are much changed. Oh, a lovely little dummy from Scully, but can't quite. Gotts couldn't quite get there. Oh, that's a nasty challenge. That's Grant. Yeah, it's a fair fight. It's not a nasty challenge. I overreact, but it's definitely a free kick. So, got my trusty mug of orange in my Assassin's Creed mug. Yeah, Fleetwood were 2-0 up in the cup against Hull. It's 2-2 now. Let's put the scorers on so I can see who's scoring. So Wilkes, Lewis Potter's come on and scored for Hull. I think he's the kid that's having the contract dispute with them as well. Been left out of the first team. Might be wrong. I think it's Lewis Potter. Sunderland are winning against Port Vale. Aidan O'Brien scored for them as well. So let's see. Thank you to everybody who's watching. I can't believe there's 40 people who are happy watching me watch football. You're not going to get any Arsenal Fan TV chairs thrown around or any Mark Goldbridge, whatever he does. I don't know. I don't watch him. Despise this sort of thing usually. City on the attack. Robbie Gotts, he's over our wide. It's a nice spell of possession, this from Lincoln. Got to get the ball. Got to get the ball down. Gotts is just bringing it back into the... Oh. So Scully's over there. Scully's looking lively again. I think he had a great game at the weekend. Oh, it's a good ball from Grant, nodded away. Scully's back on it again, look. Such a good player. Oh, nice football from the pair of them. Scully whips it in, but it's just deflected. I'm just going to say, Kate has quite rightly picked up on the Hutchinson curse. 1 minute you say Fleetwood's going to put Hull out, then Hull equalise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's unfortunately. Sam Ray, Sam, how are you doing? And this is going to go when you get the Wheel of Doom. We'll see. Do you know what? Actually, just while we have this chance, it's Brennan Johnson. He's got a bit of space. He's easily dispossessed. Easily dispossessed by Mark Hughes. Funnily enough, I've actually got 2 internet connections. I've tethered to my phone, which I know is going to be costly, to get iFollow on a computer that I never use. I've got like an all-in-one computer that I never use. So I've got the iFollow up on that, tethered, and then this is my home internet connection. So fingers crossed. Sid's saying even his cat is watching. Thank you, Sid. And Sid's cat. What's your cat's name, Sid? Is it called Gary? Marcus Needham's cat's called Gary. Don Clark, good football. Johnson needs to be stronger. Yeah. But again, you know, we shall see. I think if Brennan Johnson was the complete package, he wouldn't be on loan with us. He'd be playing Premier League football. So there are things that need to come into his game. But I mean, it's one of the best pacey and kind of tricky players we've seen in a long, long while at the club. Really excited to see him and Brendan Rodgers, Morgan Rodgers in the same lineup. Morgan Rodgers likely cup tied tonight, by the way. Played in the Manchester City under-21s first round game against Tranmere. So obviously he can't play tonight. Aaron Lewis, as we suggested, likely not playing so that he can sign for another club if somebody comes in for him. It's quiet at the minute. To be honest, Accrington are offering very little. I mean, with 13 minutes in here, and you know, Accrington don't look like the Accrington that we played in the league. And John Coleman said, even though he's going to make lots of changes, they work on their patterns of play on the training field, and they still know what they're going to do. But at the minute, they're looking. I mean, they certainly looked susceptible in the first 5-10 minutes. That's a silly foul to give away by Teo, I think. Silly foul, little nudge. But other than that, I mean, they've looked susceptible. They're not particularly looking dangerous at the same time. But you know, you're only 15 minutes into the game at the minute, aren't we? So apparently, Sid's cat's called Bonnie. You don't get that on Radio Lincolnshire, and I know that because I've got Radio Lincolnshire in this ear as well, listening to Rob and Tomo. Who are proper commentators. The reason I'm not doing a running commentary on the game, one is the potential lag, and two, I'm just not sure about licensing issues. I'm not sure if I get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble after last week. So it's a free kick. Wakwi is going to whip it in from the attacking right. Oh, heck. Oh, that's a cheap dive, referee. That's a cheap dive from Stephen Sammer, that. Surprised the referee hasn't punished that. And now who's that? Who's caught him late there? Who's gone down there? East Finland. I think it was Brennan Johnson. Let's have a look at this ball whipped back in then. So the free kick's gone in. Everybody's let it bounce. Everybody's let that bounce. Max Melbourne and Adam Jackson have both just let it bounce. Then Teo Eden's come in to challenge. The player's gone to ground. We haven't cleared it. But then Jackson's got back and headed away just in front of the 6-yard area. Yeah, dodgy minute. Let's have a look. Neil Carlton's watching. Hang on. Accrington now. I've said they didn't look dangerous, so now they are. Having to watch on an iPad. She's rubbed the remote and put Emmerdale on. Oh, dearie me. A couple of balls into the Imps box at the minute. So the Hutchinson curse strikes again. Now it's Johnson. He's got a lot of space. Scully through the centre. This is a good opportunity. Oh, it's a great save. That's a quick break. That's what Lincoln do. It's what we do well. It was a quick break. I mean, it was Brennan Johnson, I think, with the pass. He's won the ball, and Scully's just come from nowhere from the right-hand side. And he's tried to finish early. Which is the right thing to do. He hasn't got any elevation on it, and the keeper's just got a foot on it and pushed it out. Good save, yeah. Good save, Stu Wells. Kev Barley's great counter. It was a great counter. Oh, just not a good corner. It's not a good corner. Albazzetti's gone all the way back to Max Melbourne. And when the ball comes forward, look, there's 4 or 5 Lincoln players behind. Oh, Bridcut picks up, nice. Oh, Scully's too clever there, but that lad slipped over. That's let Bridcut in. Oh, it's not a good ball. It's a shame. Bridcut looks up for this. He looks up for this. I didn't think he was that bad against Peterborough. I thought he struggled a little, but at times, but he had good spells as well. Zioma, Zach Gotts, Scully, lots of passes. Here's Ioma. Oh, Grant. Oh, Grant's whipped the ball in there. The keeper's just probably taking it off the toes of Brennan Johnson. Just knocking on the door. We seem to save our best performances for the Cup, don't we? Shrewsbury, Bradford, Forest Green. I mean, at the minute, if we're talking XG, I think we should probably be 1 up. Finding so much space. Here's Elbazidi out on the flank. Oh, it's a nice ball from him for Eden. A little bit wide, actually. Throw into the Imps. This is the difference, though. When Lincoln are in possession in attack, I think we always look dangerous at the moment. And as Neil says, we're playing well indeed. I quite like this comment as well. Andrew Phillips, very, very astute. Andrew, glad you're watching, mate. For a mid-January game, the pitch looks fantastic. The ground staff do a great job. And I always used to chat to Phil Kine about the pitch, and always used to say, hey, there's nothing you can do in January because grass don't grow. You kind of patch up and repair as much as you can. It's a good effort. Carl Beach, what we're saying, with our pace, we'll always trouble teams and be a threat. Absolutely. And you think, you've got Morgan Rogers to come in as well. Got players out. I wonder when Tom Hopper comes back from COVID with Anthony Scully's form, I never classed Scully as a number 9, but I'm just beginning to wonder now. Albazidi again. Oh, he's got through. What's he going to do with this? Oh, it's a cross, and I think it's off one of our boys for a goal kick. Little turn of pace there from Zach. Little turn of pace. It's nice. Every player has a game that isn't great every now and again. Matt Bloom was a solid squad player. Yeah, no, that was one of his last games, Kate, as well, Matt Bloomer. He was a player that I just always thought never defined his position. Don't think he was a great right back. Don't think he was a great centre back, but he was a workhorse. He was kind of a versatile Ben Sedgemore, probably. So, great run by Albazzetti. Yeah, tough to get a good ball in from that angle. He did well. Sophie Barrett's on board. How are we playing tonight, Gary? We're playing very well at the minute. I don't think we've looked one dangerous ball into box from them, but other than that, we've had four 4 chances. Would that be fair to say? 4 or 5? Oh, it's a good ball from Scully as well. 4 or 5 good chances. Arguably, my team would probably be 1 up. We've got the Nezzies watching as well on our tea break from decorating. Nice to have you on board. I feel pressure the more people watching as well. I really do. But yeah, it's a good start. Really good start. And look, like you said, we're Leeds, quite right. How are we not winning? How are we not winning? But, you know, we're playing well. You keep creating the chances. You keep doing the right things in the right way. I said it on Matchday Live the other day. You know, we know this method works. We know the patterns of play work. We know that we can win games. And there's great, you know, there's money available in this competition. You think 40 grand, I think it is, for winning tonight's game. And Accrington already looking a little bit like they're out of sorts. The difference will be later on when they can make substitutions, they can get fresh legs on. You know, we're going to be very, very limited what we can do. Ooh, Robbie Gott's turning on the edge of his own area. He's given the ball away there. It was just another one of those hearts in mouth moment as well. Bridcut, again, Bridcut's looking good today. He's looking really solid. That's a little bit late. Adam Leader, good save from the keeper when Scully went through, but save or not, he has to score. Yeah, granted, yeah, you know, you should be putting those away, but I think Anthony Scully's in credit. The minute, you know, Albazedi's chance probably was clearer. So 22 minutes just clicked over. Oh, that's terrible defending. Who's that? Their number, is it 24? Stephen Sammer. Not a player I'm impressed with at the minute. I think it was him that went down for the, what I think was a dive for the penalty. And then there, he's just run the ball out of play. Somebody having words there. The referee's gone over. George Grant. So George Grant and Mark Hughes having words. Gary Roberts is there as well. He's an experienced player. He's been around a while. Just can't see that. 16, Ben Barkley. Yeah. It's a good referee, Chris Sargentson. Good, he's a decent referee. Grant's still fuming from the late tackle. Yeah, it was a little bit of a tasty tackle, that as well, but you've got to keep a cool head in these situations. Brennan Johnson fires across goal, keeper saves. Just trying to pull it across the 6-yard area. Yeah, Chris Sargentson's decent referee. Sent off a few players in the past. Pat Kenyuka, Anthony Elding. But no, wouldn't argue against any of those. He's not somebody that I always search the referee's name on my site to see if I've complained about him, and I'd never complained about Sargentson. So tells you everything you need to know. Scully on the edge of the area. He's looking busy again tonight. Is he going to get space? It's well played. Oh, what's Gary Roberts done there? He's lashed out a little bit there, hasn't he? Maybe not. It's a bit niggly. I thought it was a bit of an elbow. I might be wrong, but we'll see. Sophie asking, do you think we'll get promotion to the Championship? Hard to say at the minute, but the not the top 20 or D3, D4, one of those does. If you'd asked me that 6 months ago, I would have had you committed. But who knows? Some crucial games coming up, crucial away games coming up, and when you think about our away form, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, but you know, our away form is good because of the teams we've been away to as well. And if we get through going to the likes of Fratton Park Stadium or like Portman Road, and we still come out with a good away form, then there's no reason. They're the games, the big games, the games against the teams in and around us now, because we've built up a decent enough lead, and a lot of these teams will begin to will take points off each other, so we're in a good position. Dave Johnson says, search your ref's name to see it's amazing efficient research. It's quick research as well, Dave. It's a quick win, mate. Quick win. Tips and tricks. That's what you get when I have to talk for 90 odd minutes. So let's see. Hull have now beaten Fleetwood 3-2. The last 90 plus 4 goal from Louis Coyle. There's the curse. And Peterborough beating Portsmouth 1-0 as well. And again, it doesn't matter of those two which go through. I think we want as many teams as we can who are in and around us to go through. Other results: Rochdale are beating Charlton 2-0 in our league at the moment. That's been kicked off 21 minutes. Charlton are not in a good place. Wouldn't surprise me if Bowyer doesn't end up going. So, other games in this competition: Bristol Rovers 0, Wimbledon 0, Oxford 0, Cambridge 0, Hull 3-2, Sunderland 1-0. It's a bit niggly now. Is that Barkley on Grant again? It's Barkley on Grant again. Sargenson's just going to have another word with Barkley. Again, they look frustrated. It looks frustrated. Jake Tong just on board. How's the game planning out? Playing well. We've had a couple of chances. Should be 1-0 up. Really, Zach Elbazedi missed a good one. Brennan Johnson had a decent effort, and Anthony Scully was 1-on-1 with the keeper as well. 26 minutes. We've had by far the best chances. I don't even think there's really been a half chance for Accrington. Don't think Palmer's had a hand on the ball. Oh, referee! He's just taken Elbazedi out, but he's got back up onto his feet. Eden dispossessed. But again, there's no pace to Stanley's counter-attack. It just breaks away. We pick up the ball. We go back. And Palmer boots it forward. He's got his touch. Another Hutchinson curse. They owe him a lovely little ball into Bridcut. And away we come again. We just... Scully off down the right. It's there. Oh! How's Elbazedi missed that? Oh, my Lord. I think he's hit the bar. I mean, that's I say open goal. He's 6 yard out. Oh, so it's Scully down the right-hand side. I mean, he's a great cross. Elbazedi's arrived unmarked, 6 yards out. The keeper's the other side of the goal. All he's got to do is just get a touch on it, and he's just sent it onto either of the crossbar and over. Should be 1-0. Should be 1-0 now. I mean, that's as clear cut as you get. That's as clear cut as you get. Dave Johnson, how did Elbazedi not make that? What a ball. It was a great ball. A great ball in. Kev Barwise, if I can get you one. Is it going to come up? Oh, it stopped. Kev, Jack should have had 2 now. John Clack should be 3 up. Don't know if my StreamYard's catching up now. There we go. Yes, it should be 3-0. Should absolutely be 3-0, but it should be. I mean, that was a definite for 1. Scully's having an absolutely great game. I'm just staying off the comments for a minute because it was taking a bit of a while and struggling to catch up. Scully's got this habit of putting a ball in. Yeah, I thought so. Thanks, Kate. Keep me informed. If it gets to a point where it's unwatchable, let me know. I mean, Scully, he's got this ball where he's level with the 18-yard box and he'll ping it across between the penalty yard and the 6-yard box. And he's just begging. They're begging to be hit. Begging to be hit. Internet okay now? Are we picked it back up again? Unwatchable from the start, Stu Wells. Yeah, thanks, that. Here comes Accrington. Oh, he's got so much space. It's Scully. Scully again, look. Comes back. A little bit of danger on the edge of the 18-yard area, and it's Anthony Scully again. He's having a really good game. About a minute behind the action. That's what I thought, to be honest. That's the problem with doing these watch-alongs. I just wanted to give it a go anyway. It is with a view to another project, by the way, but we'll leave that for now. Accrington corner. Oh, there's a foul there, surely, ref. Is it Bridcut? A little bit of danger to soak up at the moment. Yeah, it's an easy challenge for George Grant. Tell you something, my iFollow feed is spot on tonight. Stu Wells, he's got it in for me in a minute, look. That's Gary Cook impressing Scully. Yeah, me too, Gary. Gary's always been 16-bit in person. Ouch. You used to be a good lad, you. Right. Robbie Gotts. Big night for Gotts. Oh, referee. Roberts has just given Scully a little studs on top of the foot, I think, there. All come from 2-0 down, yeah. And basically, Stu Wells, Kate Jackson says, I'm basically a Mega Drive. I was never a Sega person. Devalue me with Sega. If there was anything that was on that line, I was going to be an Amiga 600. No other goals in the competition at the moment. From earlier, Charlton have now pulled one back against Rochdale. It's now 2-1. They kicked off at the same time as we did. Scully back winning possession again. I tell you something, he's busy. I said, I think about 6 weeks ago, he got a start, and I said on Matchday Live, oh, that's brilliant by Elbazetti. So well taken. Come on, lad, you've got space now. Don't waste it. That's a great ball. Oh, go on, Elbazetti. Yes! Yes! Get in. Absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. Do you know what? Brennan Johnson's got his hand on the ball. Elbazetti should already have his hand on the match ball for a hat trick, but he's made it. He's attacked down the left. He's played a great ball across to Scully. Scully's looked to bread it across. It's just touched back by Johnson. And Elbazetti's just taken his time, shuffled to one side and popped it in the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant move. Absolutely. Plenty of people celebrating. Goal from Stu Wells. Kev Barwise, brilliant move. And finally a goal. Dave Johnson, what a turn to break away. He could have read 3 already. Messages well ahead of commentary, much like my text from Saturday. Yeah, Pete let me know that Lincoln had scored before they scored on my iFollow. I wouldn't book the hotel. Stu Wells says best got the hotel booked for Wembley. I wouldn't just yet. You never know, unless you get one that overlooks Wembley and you can get a view. So there we go. Sean Simons up the Imps. Now the key is to get another. I don't know, it sounds obvious. You keep it tight for a couple of minutes after the goal, because we could be 2, 3, 4 up here. Who's this? Brennan Johnson. He's down in the middle of the park. That's a worry. Accrington is still on the attack anyhow. Johnson's not comfortable there. And the referee stopped play. Well, this is interesting because if Brennan was injured, we've got Sean Rowan, Remy Howarth and Freddie Draper as the outfield players on the bench. Be interesting as to who he'd bring on. I mean, he dropped Jamie Sewell straight in. He was a young player, so there'd be no reason why he wouldn't bring Draper on. You would think it would be Remy Howarth and then maybe George Grant shuffling out to the left. But let's have a look. Oh, yes, my ticker does need updating. Thank you for that. That's the problem that you get when you're doing all your own stuff, unfortunately. So it's a Lincoln 1. This is when you miss Charlie Russell doing it all behind closed doors for you. There you go. 3-1 now, Charlton are beating Rochdale. 3-1. Peterborough now 2-0 up. Johnson Clark Harris has scored for them. Oh, Edward Brett's on the board. All right, Eddie. I hope you're doing well, pal. Why is new lad from Man sitting on the bench as Craig Hollingworth cup tied? Have we had more positive deaths? Jake Tom says yes, we have. Obviously, details haven't been given, but we have got more COVID in the squad. You would wonder about Theo Archibald. And obviously James Jones is not in, who did play the other day. We're about playing again. I think Johnson's... Oh, that's terrible, Gary Roberts. That's Sam again. That's Sammer. Not a big fan of his. Yeah, Johnson's running. He doesn't look comfortable, though. Doesn't look entirely comfortable at the moment. So... ball over the top for Robbie Gotts. He's looking to set Johnson off. Oh, Johnson's beat him. Is he going to square this? Oh, Robbie Gotts. No, his shot's blocked as well. It's going to bounce away for a throw. Brilliant from Johnson. Could have scored again. Another chance goes begging, I think, as John Clacker's just said. Another chance goes begging. Good play. We could be 5-0 up, and that's no exaggeration. Really isn't. Back to Palmer. He gets the long ball forward. Grant. Ooh. No, referee. That's not. Ridco's just put one in on Hughes. I don't know if we'll see a replay of that. We will see a replay of Johnson. Johnson has absolutely skinned Mark Hughes there. Just couldn't finish it. And then Robbie Gotts just couldn't quite get it out of his feet just at the last minute. I think he almost got like a second touch on it that he didn't want. It just came away. Emily Rook, great to see us play such good football in matches like this. It is. It's fantastic. Scully's got 3 around him and wins a throw-in. Have Aki got their better players on the bench, Gary? Well, they've got Dion Charles, Colby Bishop, certainly Matty Butcher are players that you would probably expect them to play. Joey Pritchard's got the shirt number 10, so you would think he's probably one as well. Oh, yeah, it's a silly foul to give away. With that goal, we could pretend the Albazedi miss never existed. Which one? I think he's had 2. I mean, there's the one that he put over the bar and one that he kind of 2 put over the bar. He's having a decent game, though, Albazedi. At least he's getting in the positions. Yeah, missing chances is only possible if you get in the positions and you're kind of creating chances. So we shall see. They look to be playing a bit long ball. I mean, there's just no coherence, no coherent play from Accrington. But you know, I say this about teams every week, and you begin to think, is it those teams that are not entirely coherent, or is it the way that we set up that makes it hard for them to play as well? Yeah, I mean, we press hard. We're very organised. You see the midfielders chasing out wide rather than defenders so that we can keep a decent line as well. I mean, I like Teo in the left-back position. He's giving the ball away there. It's typical. Another curse. John Clark. Second half could be interesting if they switch it up. It could be. Absolutely. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, there's a long ball over the top. Gotts has gone through with the keeper. I mean, it's right out on the white flank. The keeper's miles out of his area. Oh, Gotts' fouled, referee. He's nudged over on the edge of the area. Adam Leader thinks Gotts should have been braver. Oh, we took it quickly. Scully's missed it, but the referee's not allowed it. I love this referee. I've said it all the time. Kate Jackson, speaking of Butcher, tonight's 10 years since Gary Taylor fetched scored against Liverpool and showed his blue nose Butch shirt. Yeah, rest in peace, Butch. Rest in peace, lad. There was something else I wanted to see as well, but I don't know where it's gone now. Gav Hughes, sitting next to Gav at the football. It's the first time he's got to hear me talk football live since last season. Do I think football will be suspended? I think there's a chance of a circuit breaker, but see, you know, with the players we've got missing at the minute, not sure how the situation is, but don't rule out Gillingham going next week. So it's a George Graham free kick. Gotts was fouled on the edge of the area. Back stick. Oh, he was looking for the back stick, but it's cleared. Ball over the top. Everyone's offside. Oh, Scully never going to get that. 40 minutes gone, so we've got 5 minutes going till half time. I'm going to see if I can tempt a guest on. I don't know if Sam's watching, actually. Sam was going to come on at half time. Oh, here I am trying to find a guest for half time, and the shot just goes miles and miles over. So let's have a quick look and see if I can get my guest on at half time. I never know what platform somebody's messaged me on. Where have the 40 minutes gone? It's absolutely flown by. Absolutely flown by. There's a feeling it might peter out. That's a terrible ball from Iwakwe. Terrible ball. Oma to Bridcut. Nice little turn. Where's he going with that? Back to the keeper. Fair enough. I'm going to get a guest on at half time to have a quick chat. Scully, has he got a bit of space? Oh, it's a Johnson. He's got the Morgray just wanted to walk it in. Oh, he's not going to get it. No, he didn't. Again, another great opportunity. Great opportunity for City. I mean, it's Johnson has just pulled away into space. It's an easy ball through. Probably, if anything, Scully played it direct to his feet rather than 3 yards in front of him for him to run onto. But still should have got something decent at goal there. And then Grant's through ball just a little bit too tight to the middle of the park. A little bit too tight. So, still 1-0 to the Imps. 42 minutes, 38 seconds have elapsed. Really interested to see the shooting stats because we've absolutely battered them this half. We really have. We should be 3-4-0. There's so much space in what should be the defensive midfield area for Accrington. There's just nothing there. Nothing there. Scully again. Oh, is he going to get the throw in? No, his back heel's gone straight out of play. So at the minute, Rochdale are beating Charlton 3-2 now. That's 40 minutes in. Sunderland still winning, obviously 1-0. Peterborough winning 2-0 against Portsmouth. Bristol Rovers, Wimbledon's 0-0. Oxford Cambridge is 0-0. Back in our game. Again, Accrington just trying to come forward. It's easily cut out by Eden. He finds Albazedi. Is he going to knock it and run into space? Oh no, it's challenged. Imps throw. According to Sky Sports, the shots are 9-2. 9-2 for Lincoln. I think they're lucky to get 2. 9 shots. It should be. I mean, it's 1-0. It should be a lot more. 40 grand, remember, for this, and to place in the quarterfinals of the competition, which are played. I think the quarterfinals and semi-finals are played in a 2-week period in February. Neither of those Tuesdays we've got games planned, I don't think, at the moment either. So we don't think we'd lose a league game at present. Obviously, still got Scully edge of the area. I mean, that's a terrible ball again from Accrington. Ioma, it's not a great one from Ioma, to be honest, but I'd rather he's playing a bad ball on the edge of the attacking 18-yard area than Accrington do on the halfway line. No, referee, no. He's given a free kick there against Adam Jackson. Not for me. Not for me. So still 1-0 to City. See how much added time we're going to get. It's just ticking over to half-time now. 1 minute. 1 minute added time. Rochdale scored a 4th. Stephen Humphreys was at Southend last year. So, an odd side. deep. Oh, referee. Well, big ball into the area there, and Palmer seemed to take it and then was nudged. Oh, and Accrington there. Played wide. Is it Mohammed? Zen Mohammed. I mean, Palmer wanted that. He came to get it and he got a nudge. Then it's a ball through from Perrott. Pulled back to Mohammed and he's fired wide. Who did they pulled it back? Gary Roberts, massively experienced player. That should be the last action of half time. That's your injury time done and dusted. There we go. That is half time. Right, so just to summarise, City are leading 1-0 at half time against Accrington Stanley. So for your half time entertainment right now, we have a guest on, or I have a guest on, and this is a real role reversal. So you're about to see Matchday Live host Sam as Lincoln City fan Sam. So let's try and bring him in. I'm doing all the stuff now. Sam, how are we doing, pal? All right.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. You enjoying the game?
Yeah, I am enjoying the game. The way you've built that up, I feel like I should have a Foster's in my hand or something like that. Back to the Telford days.
I feel awkward trying to interview somebody like yourself who interviews is like the great and the good in English football.
The great and the good being Gary Hutchinson in English football. That's
don't.
Wasn't it?
You'll be making Ben jealous.
Is he coming on?
I haven't seen him actually. I don't even think he's watching.
Disgrace. Calls him a member of the Stacey Words podcast as well, doesn't he? Who does he think he is?
I know. So looking good at the moment, aren't we?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. That it was. Zach Elbazedi. I think what struck me watching that first half was just how big the pitch seems. You know, you watch a game like that, and you know we've watched games at St Bank, the LNER Stadium, as I should probably call it, 1,000,000 times. But tonight, more than ever, the pitch seemed absolutely massive, and that's clearly testament to the way that the boys are playing. Zach was brilliant. I thought Liam Bridcut had a really good half. I thought he's come out, and it's almost as if he's got a slight point to prove from the weekend. He wasn't happy, was he, with his performance? I don't think the other day. It was just one of those games that didn't quite happen for. It didn't obviously matter with the result, but it was one of those where you could see he was frustrated watching it on the TV there. And he's come out like he's got something to prove tonight to himself more than anything. So he played really well. I've been impressed with TJ as well. You know, he's a player that does sometimes go under the radar a little bit. And actually, I thought tonight he's played really well. So those three have probably been my sort of standout players, really. Zach, Liam and TJ.
I think that's probably reflects how well we've played, because if I were to pick, I'd probably put Anthony Scully as well. I think he's been really busy at both ends of the park. But then, I mean, we always seem to turn up in this competition, or indeed in cup competitions, don't we? I mean, you and I analyse the games, and we've seen Forest Green 6-2, Bradford 5-0, Shrewsbury 4-1. What do you think it is? Do you think that's the fringe players kind of always rising to the occasion?
I'm enjoying this. You asking me some serious questions. It's strange, isn't it? What have you been asking there? I just got carried away with the fact that you're asking me a question as if this is a role reversal Matchday Live. You're going to have to ask me. What a terrible pundit I am.
No, not at all. You see, it's more informal, isn't it? We're not wearing our official club colours tonight. Officially.
No, I'm not even on brand, am I? I've not even got the area stuff out actually.
It was cup games. I mean, why do you think it is that we seem to be able to raise our game? I mean, is it the opposition playing the weakened side? Is it our reserve players kind of rising to the occasion? What do you think it is that we keep turning these performances in?
I think it's more the latter. I think you see players. I mean, look, Anthony Scully didn't start the first few games of the season, did he? And when those cup games came about, or when he did get an opportunity, he played like a man possessed. Now he's actually playing a slightly different role. He almost seems to be calmer on the ball. He's better on the ball, and he's not playing like he's got something to prove. Whereas someone like Zach Elbazedi has obviously come in and is playing like he's playing for his place in the squad or his place in the starting 11. So I think that does play a huge part. The idea that you've got to come in and prove a point and prove yourself. I think just overall, there's something about the mentality of this squad. You know, we mentioned it a bit on Matchday Live about comparisons with maybe the 16-17 team, for instance, that gave us so many amazing days and amazing nights. But every game that the Imps won in 16-17, not every game, but a lot of the games that they won back in 16-17, they could have gone either way. It was probably testament to the management more than anything that so many games, I look at that Wrexham one, it always stands out to me, the Wrexham game on the Tuesday night, when Paul Farman going down injured on 70 minutes, grinding out that 1-0 victory. And you think, we could have lost that game, many other games that they could have lost, whereas we just don't ever really seem like we're going to lose a game unless it's to Sunderland where they lost it, obviously, within the first half an hour or so, or Portsmouth where, fair play on the night, they got outplayed. But even tonight, you're watching and you're thinking, after 20 minutes, does it really matter that they've missed the first 4 chances and they should be 3 or 4-0 up? No, it doesn't, because they never let the head go down. It's just okay, let's do it again. Let's repeat the process. And you don't want to be comparing this to Premier League sides or anything, but I will anyway, and say that teams like Liverpool and Manchester City in the Premier League, that's exactly what they do. They stick with the process, and if they're not 3-0 up at half time, it doesn't matter. Get the ball, go again. Get the ball, go again. And you only have to watch the way that the boys are playing in triangles this evening, and you think, even if we'd have gone into half time at 0-0, no one would have really minded, because you think, okay, we're just going to come out and do the same again.
Just got a comment there from Kate. You can tell Sam does this for a living. #expert.
Kate's only doing that so that I read a comment out on Matchday Live on Saturday. Very kind of you, Kate. Very kind.
We'll get her to come on as a guest, I think.
Yeah.
And Dave Johnson's watching again. Good point. We definitely keep knocking on the door, which again I think is, we do. And even when it doesn't work, I think we've seen it in the cup games as well, that we keep doing it. I think what impresses me as well, and I think this is a testament to the coaching, is that even when we shake it up, so even whoever we've got playing right, left, centre of attack, it's the same patterns, it's the same pace, and as you just alluded to there, it's always the same outcome. We keep creating the chances. Yeah,
no, exactly, and that, I say it's testament to the management that so many games were ground out back in 16-17. It's testament to this set of management guys in Michael Appleton and David Kerslake and the behind the scenes staff that they're able to come out and play so well as they are. It's a cliche, but they are a joy to watch. It is like watching a championship side, and George Grant obviously epitomises that. I mean, in fairness to, I know you're obviously doing the watch-along, but I listened to a bit of the first half commentary, and Tomo, in fairness to him, made a really good point that actually George Grant is much more of a complete footballer than he was a year ago. It's not just about sort of chesting it down and playing a pinpoint pass. He's got so many different attributes to his game now, and that is because he's been developed as a player by his manager. And again, you're trying to compare this with the best. You have to, because that's what the managers do. And if you look at the Premier League sides, the best managers develop their players. You've mentioned it on Matchday Live before that you want players that are going to come as one player, and if we are going to sell them, they're going to leave as better players. And look, whether players like George Grant end up leaving to a bigger club at some stage, maybe so, but that he's going to leave a better player. That's probably testament to himself, but more so testament to Michael.
I think also that works in our favour when it comes to signing players as well, because if players know they can come here, learn and develop and leave better players unhindered, without having to force a move, then I think that probably makes it more attractive in the transfer market. Let's move on to another player that's interested me today, and that's in Robbie Gotts, because obviously Robbie hasn't started as many games for us as he might have liked. I think I'm looking at the screen, it's 4 league games, I think, with three appearances from the bench. Big night for him tonight. I mean, he's, we're not playing badly, so I'm certainly not going to criticise anybody, but somebody that you think Leeds may be looking at and thinking could go somewhere else and play more regular football?
Perhaps. It's not quite happened for him so far this evening. I never quite know with Robbie myself what his preferred position is. Maybe he's still working that out. It is difficult at the moment because, you've got a set of players that are playing free-flowing football and they're playing so well. It's probably been a slightly tougher move for Robbie than maybe he first anticipated. I don't quite know on that one. I guess one of the good things from Leeds' point of view, from Robbie's point of view, is he's playing in a squad of players that are top of the league. Now, is it better to send out a player that's going to start every game for a team that are fighting relegation and that are losing games? Or is it better to send out a player that is actually, going to be part of a really successful team? He's obviously still a very young player. So I don't know really. It is a tough one, that one, because he could go out to a League Two side or a sort of bottom end League One side and know that he might be starting every week, and Leeds may well see that as better development for him. We don't know at the moment, I guess, is the answer to that one.
And obviously, I mean, we're just talking and looking a little bit further afield now. 4 players on the bench, 3 outfield players, COVID back in the squad. You know, without being disrespectful to Shrewsbury, in the grip of COVID, I mean, it's probably a positive that we've lost Saturday's game, and given how our situation is, there's a strong potential that we might have a slightly longer layoff as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you hope at some stage that fixture is going to be fulfilled, and it'll be fulfilled at a time that suits both members, both squads really. You just don't know what's around the corner, do you? And that is the biggest problem at the moment for absolutely everyone. There's nothing to fall back on. The only thing that we can be thankful for is that football's taking place. Great news about the EFL testing clubs twice weekly. At least, obviously it doesn't prevent COVID, but it's not the vaccine, but at least it's giving everyone an idea of whether they can play the game at the weekend. It was good that when was that game announced that it was going to be postponed, or suspended? It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
The club probably had an idea of that at the weekend, and that's down to testing. So that's the only bit of heed that I guess we can take from that at the moment, that we're able to see the numbers, engage them, and go from there. But it was obviously interesting that Hull and Hunderland, that's so bad for me, isn't it? Hull and Sunderland got in contact with each other and said, hey lads, do you fancy a game? And you've seen that, I think, with the Premier League, 2 Premier League sides, Aston Villa and Spurs perhaps is another game that's going to be going ahead as well. So teams are looking at that and going, we want to play if we've got a fully fit squad or near fully fit squad. You obviously want to play. Let's sort of bring that together and fulfill a fixture, if you like. So probably for the best, really, overall, that Saturday's game isn't going ahead. Whether either side will admit that is obviously up to them. But with everything that's going on at the moment, obviously with Lincoln, playing a pretty strong squad tonight as well, a strong starting 11, it may work out. And ultimately, you're sitting pretty at the top of the league.
Cool. Obviously, as well, if we do go ahead on Tuesday night, you and I shall be back on Matchday Live as scheduled, I imagine. As
scheduled, yeah. Do you fancy presenting it?
Not on this showing, mate, no.
I don't think I could be a pundit on this showing either if I can't even pronounce Hull and Sunderland.
Oh, I was showing my socks and falling into my wall on Matchday Live on Saturday. It got a bit of slapstick, didn't it? So
you do a brilliant job. You know that.
So
as well.
I'm going to put you on the spot, but you are halfway. You've got a little bit of a starter for 10. What's your prediction for the rest of the game?
I said 2-1 at the start of the game. It's so open. My mum actually said 3-1, and I think I'm going to have to go with her on that now, looking at the way I fancy us maybe to go 3-0 up and maybe concede one towards the end of the game, perhaps something like that, just as a bit of a consolation for the away side. But look, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if we don't win this game just for the way that we're playing. Simple as that.
And just a very, very quick one. He suddenly showed his face. Apparently, if we're looking for a host for Matchday Live, somebody at Next Gen Base, I don't know who they are, some gaming website, said they might know one. So Ben's finally...
Well, he's not even got a profile picture. How could he be a host if he's not even got a profile picture?
How can he be a host after 100 podcast shows and he doesn't even do any bloody research? So
after Conor McGrandle's signed boots as well.
Yeah, both of them. You don't need both of them, do you? Honestly, shocking. Sam, thank you very much for coming on, pal. And doubtless I shall speak to you soon. Speak to you soon. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Thanks. So there we go. That was Mr. Ashu, presenter of Matchday Live. We're obviously getting close, I would imagine, now to the second half. It's just turned over onto 8 o'clock. Let's have a look through some of your halftime comments. Stu Wells, excuse me. Will COVID have a big impact on who we sign in this window? Only sign localish players after quarantine before we sign and play them. I'm not sure there's a lot of transfer business that we're planning on doing in this window anyway. I think I see it more that we've got the complete meal in front of us. What we're now looking at doing is putting the salt and the pepper on the top. So we're just sprinkling where we need it, light dusting. And with players going out, maybe that frees up to come in. But let's look at the fact, in terms of loans, we're getting, I think, close to our limit, the amount that we can play. So it would have to be permanent deals. If it's going to be permanent deals, we're not going to sign somebody on the hop. We're not suddenly going to go, oh, actually, I know what we'll do. We'll sign this guy. It's going to be somebody that we're planning. We're planning ahead. I would imagine a lot of those permanent deals would have been in January, in the summer. Hence, Jez George saying, if we can bring transfer deals forward, we will. So I think if we do make a permanent signing, it will appear to be a relatively big one, but it'll be somebody who's coming in 6 months ahead of schedule. That's a good thing. Remember when January, when we signed, for instance, Tom Hopper, who I think struggled to get into the kind of the rhythm of the patterns of play for the first couple of months. I think he really rose to the occasion against Burton, which was last game. He's been good this season. Tom Peck, classic example, signed in January, struggled, rose to the occasion the following season. So, well, the teams are coming back out now, so I shall get my earpiece in, but hopefully that answers the question. What else do we have question-wise? Sam Murray, interested one. I think I agree. I like Bridcut, but I think he's inconsistent. I agree, and I think his injury situation is inconsistent. And my mate Pete did say if you get 30 games a season out of Bridcut, you're doing very well. But you have to have him more. Grant in the centre is much better than out wide. He is, and in an attacking position as well. So the players are back out. A little bit of an update. So Sunderland have knocked out Port Vale. Aidan McGeady scored a last-minute penalty. Peterborough will knock out Portsmouth. That's 3-0 now. They've gone very strong as well. Frankie Kent, Johnson Clark Harris. I think it's Jack Taylor, isn't it there? I think it's Jack Taylor. So they're 3-0 up now just before half-time. So we're off when we're underway. Let's hope for more of the same from the Imps now. That shot by, didn't it? Absolutely shot by. Great to speak to Sam at half-time as well. Top lad. Very, very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. Got a lot to thank Sam for as well. Through my writing career and everything. Cracking bloke. Cracking lad. So City looking probably to get a little bit of possession early doors. Another throw in. Deep on the attacking left. Deep on the attacking left. So it's a decent start again this half. Let's see how we go. Oh, it's a tug on Grant's shirt. Yeah, definite tug on Grant's shirt. And a free kick, which is probably about as good as a corner. It was Uwakwe again. Uwakwe again. So it'll be a Grant free kick. Probably 9-10 yards from the touchline or from the byline. Be delivered in. It'll be a George Grant in swinger. And a goal right now, I think, could open the floodgates. Lifted to the far post. Bridcut coming in. He's all caught up in the goal net now. It was a high, kind of lofted ball. You wouldn't have seen Bridcut. Not known for his aerial ability. Got up and under it. Accrington looking to play out from the back. That's just poor again. You know, John Coleman said that he wanted to get the monkey off the back and finally get Accrington to Wembley, but they've just not been at the races. But at 1-0, it's just so delicate, isn't it? Smart play from Eden. Oh, it's a nice ball. Well taken down by Scully. See, that's what Teo Eden does. I can't understand why people say negative things about him too much. I mean, you've got to critique players. I buy that, but Eden gets critiqued more than most. Good evening to Johnny Benton joining. Good to see you, Johnny. In terms of viewing figures, it's been quite good. Always kind of seem to have sat around the sort of 40 to 45 mark tonight, which is nice. So thank you very much for tuning in. Went up over half time as well. You were only here for the Sam. Only here for Samashu. So it's Accrington now attacking down the left. It's kind of knocking the ball between. Nice little triangles. Nice little bit of possession actually for Accrington. Uwakwe now. He's not a player, I think. He's where's he going? Where's he going? He's won him a corner at least. He seemed to be running in down a blind alley there, but he's finally got himself corner. Good evening, my Dave. Do you know what I've got? I've got a tight group of friends, like really close friends, and Dave and Pete are two really good friends of mine, both watching tonight. Hopefully, we're going to go watch Jim Bob from Carter later in the year. In fact, Dave's family. That's not a good corner. Oh, it's come now. Are we going to spring a break? Oh, Robbie Gotts has left the ball behind. He's been fouled as well. So, Adam Leader, enjoying this. Good to get some opinions like you would from around your seat. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. I'm not one for filming. I like doing the videos, but I'm not one for filming yourself watching a game and reaction and that sort of thing. People who do that are filming themselves. It's about them. I don't want it to be about me. I just wanted to provide a service where people kind of come together. Those that couldn't get on the collab platform. Oh dear, everyone's misread that. Everyone's misread that. A little bit of possession actually from Accrington at the start of this half. Oh, that's a nice little trick, but it doesn't work. You're not George Grant, lad, are you? You're not George Grant. He tried to do the little step over, I think, the little George Grant step over, but, he's not. He's Harrison Perrett, and he's got a way to go. Making this last as well. It's gone warm. Okay, so long ball forward from Palmer. That's the only thing I think in a minute we don't. Oh, he's gone over the top, Robbie Gotts. You're not going to get away with that, lad. Not going to get away with that. Just thinking about. I was thinking as somebody said in the first half, John Clark said in the first half, that Accrington bench, just a bit of a concern in it that you could bring on 2 or 3 first-team players relatively fit, and we're going to be quite fatigued, I think, later on. Not a lot of options for changing. So to be fair, another goal would be a nice little bit of comfort, I think, a nice safety net. Adam Varlo, how's your dog? My dog's good, mate, thank you. We've had him 2 years today. It's funny he's not even in here. He doesn't seem to be bloody bothered. Looks a little bit more. I wonder if Accrington have had a flea in their ear this half. They look a little bit more mobile on the ball. That's a good challenge by Bridcut again, though. Here's Elbazedi. He's going to have Eden overlapping. Can Eden deliver? Oh, it's Grant. It's Eden again. Go on, lad. Oh. That's such good play from Teo Eden. And that's not such good play. He's giving the ball away now. Oh, that's a yellow card. Max Malburn will get a yellow card for that. Surely it was cynical. I think he's just taking him down. He knows that he'd been done. Got a player warming up on the Accrington bench by the looks of things. He's not going to book Malburn for that. I'm quite surprised, actually. I did think Malburn was quite lucky there. Adam Leader says Draper going to get a game, surely. I think if it's delicately poised at this stage, I'm not so sure. We'll see. Who's going to hit this? So Joe Maguire is going to whip this across. Players all on the edge of the 18-yard area. Headed away. And now Elbazedi, if he can get it past him. Go on, lad. Oh, he's opening it up now. Here he goes. Look at the pace. He's just taking himself away from everybody. What's he gonna be able to do? Where's he going? It's not bad play though. He's gone as far as he can. It's a nice pass from Gotts. Grant gets it in the area. Oh, nobody's alive to that. I wonder if Johnson's knock has kind of kept him. Bridcut plays to Scully, back into Bridcut. Whipped across! 2-0. Robbie Gotts. That's a good goal. That is a good goal. And you've got to say, Zach Elbazedi, you've got to say he's created that. The way that he's knocked it round his defender, he's then beat the next one for pace. He's brought us forward at pace. And from there on, we're in attack. I mean, the transition was just so quick. And I tell you something as well, that ball across from Bridcut, he's right on the byline. He's right on the byline as he's pulled it back. And Robbie Gotts makes it 2-0. I'm going to now have to edit my banner. There we go. We'll change that. Do your ticker, somebody said. Indeed. Bridcut's been fantastic tonight from Stu Wells. Agreed. Do your ticker, Gary. I'm having to look after my ticker properly. Fee works in like heart, not actual heart surgery, but research and drugs and stuff, and she makes me eat broccoli. On that note, I'll watch Burnley beat United. Good luck, Pete. Enjoy. Dave Johnson, that run was pure quality. We are lethal some days, boys. We are absolutely lethal. That was just so quick. Sean Simons, boom, boom indeed. Sean, I'll be in touch tomorrow, just so that you can see I've got some changes to the old Premier League stickers. So I've got a new list of swaps. Be in touch. So 2-0, Peterborough still 3-0. I mean, Accrington, it's not game over. 54 minutes, 2-0 win. It's not game over. That's a corner challenged by Bridcut. But you're a lot more comfortable now, especially if it remains 2-0, 70, 75 minutes, they start piling the first teamers on. You're in a better position. You've got that kind of cushion. Dare I say it was 2 years ago today that we were 2-0 up at Swindon and had 2 players sent off and ended up drawing 2-2. I'm sure that won't happen here. We're far too disciplined for that. That's great pace. Who's that lad? He's just done really well there. Is it Fenland? He's going to claim he's tripped there. He thinks he was tripped. You know what? I thought he was tripped. I thought Eden just clipped that boy's link heels as he went through. Pete Bog, there won't be as many Bridcut Boo boys on the banter page. That's a bit of a tongue tire, isn't it? Gary Cook, don't want Portsmouth in the next round. We won't be getting them, lad. They're 3-0 down. Taylor, Clark, Harris and Frankie Kent for them. So it could be Hull or Sunderland at the moment. So there's Hull, Sunderland does. I'm not sure who the final... Well, the other teams are on that side of the draw. Peterborough, Northampton, Milton Keynes, Oxford, Cambridge and Bristol Rovers, Wimbledon's 0-0. You'd prefer to be on the southern side of the draw, wouldn't you? David Johnson, never heard of Premier League stickers, and you guys always talk about them. They're like your baseball cards, things like that, but instead they're sticky backs you put into an album. So it's the same sort of thing. Certain players accrue certain value and things like that. Kay Jackson, Gary just said Portsmouth won't get Portsmouth because they're 3-0 down. Lump on a draw. There you go. Posh 4-0 now, I'm told. Yep, Dembele scored 52 minutes. So Accrington are just, I want to say pinning us in at the minute, but oh, that's a foul referee. He's just barred Bridcut over. That's that. So a wacky again. He's been poor. So now Accrington are going for it because they're bringing Dion Charles and Colby Bishop. They're their 2 main centre forwards. They brought Matty Butcher as well. So not played an hour yet, and Accrington are rolling the last dice. There's Gotts breaking. Oh, Johnson. There's a decent ball from Gotts, and Johnson's just hooked it wide. You could bring on all the centre forwards you want, but at 3-0 it was game over. So they're going to look to, I think they'll look to go from back to front a lot quicker as well, to be honest. Colby Bishop was somebody I criticised when he first signed for them. I thought he was an unambitious signing, but actually he's not a bad centre forward. He's kind of in the Tom Hopper mould, I think. And Dion Charles is a player who's done very well for them this season. I mean, they were doing something right, aren't they, their first team, because they're so far up in the league. So there's a change due. Accrington seem to be... That's gone out of play, ref, surely, hasn't it? There we go. Throw into the Imps right down on the corner flag. I mean, the lad there, he's not happy. Who's that 24? Sammer. He's the kid that dived in the first half. Again, he's another player that's really struggled tonight. George Grant to Ioma. He's out on the attacking right. Miss Johnson, sorry, I beg your pardon, not Grant. Lincoln going back a little bit. Bridcut into Scully. It's been quieter in the second half. Oh, unlucky. Nice little flick from Ioma. Johnson didn't back out of that. I like to see that. He's in a challenge with Fenlon. Oh, there's that lad again, that Uwakwe. He's been awful. Grant shoots wide. But again, you know, one slack pass and we're through. We're breaking. We're attacking again. Let's have a quick look. Dave Johnson, are we getting Morton back anytime soon? Anyone know anything? I think it was February was last we were told. I'm bringing Pritchard, Joey Pritchard on as well. Wow. They are going for broke. They are going for broke. Now, the next 10 minutes are going to be crucial because if Accrington come put the kitchen sink, throw the kitchen sink at us and get a goal, then the impetus and the kind of the motion is with them. But if we survive the first 10 minutes and then they're chasing 2 goals going 20 minutes, you know, it's then looking at we get tighter, we defend very well. It's going to be interesting. Be an interesting final 30 minutes. This game isn't over, not over by a long way. Milton Keynes now beating Northampton 1-0. Massive signing Milton Keynes made earlier in the week. Ethan Laird from Man United. Really interesting. How they managed to secure him, I don't know. So still Lincoln 2, Accrington 0. 60 minutes gone. Sue Gray wants me to join Tomo for every match commentary. That would be my dream job. I'd give up everything else I do to commentate every week on the games. It was what I used to do. I used to play, it wasn't even FIFA. I used to play football games before commentary was standard and commentate myself for hours. Albazzetti is opening it up on the left. Johnson's got a score. Yes! There you go. I tell you something. What a time to get a goal. They've just brought their 3 big guns on. What a time to get a goal. And who is it again? Zach Albazzetti. I mean, honestly, Adam Leader, how good is that, Zach? I tell you something. Look at that. Just look at that pace. He's down. Lovely little pass. I think I hear Remy Howard's coming on, Rob's just saying, so it's got to be Johnson going off. You've got to wrap him up in cotton wool, get him off the field. Interesting, I think that's David Kerslake on the bench. Interesting, he wasn't on the bench at the weekend, I'm told. Because if he was one of the COVID scares, I suppose it could have been a scare rather than a positive test. So, Emily Rook, love it when Zach gets running roadrunner style. He gets his head down, just tremendous. Gary Cook says, I can't have a beer when I'm doing the commentary. That, my friend, is orange juice. That, my friend, is warm orange juice. Sid's let me know Tranmere versus Leicester under 21s in the next side of the draw. Whoever wins that, that's who you want in the next round. So Remy Howarth is on. The Imps are 3-0 up. I've got to do my bloody ticker. I mean, it's just a strong performance. That's Brennan Johnson. You know, Zach's not dangerous ball in for Accrington. Dealt with. So calm from George Grant. Here's Zach again. Look, he just. Oh, referee. 33. Mohammed taken out. It's a yellow card. Surely, yeah. It's an obvious yellow card. I mean, he was just going to go past him. I'll tell you something. There's elements of Albazzetti that remind me a little bit of Darren Huckabee, because Huckabee used to love space to run into. You give him space to run into. As when he was a young player at Lincoln, he was absolutely devastating. And you see that with Zach. He's just so quick. You know, to be honest, it's unreal when you think that he's barely had a kick since the Shrewsbury game, you know, since he tore Shrewsbury apart in the last round. I'm so pleased for Zach as well. He's a lovely, lovely lad. Softly spoken, quite sensitive, I'm told, you know, to criticism as well. Referee is another foul there. That's awful. Referee is the same player, Mohammed. He's a lucky boy. Lucky boy. It's frustration now. It's frustration now. It really is. Johnny Barton missed the third goal because the baby needed an happy change. Disappointing. What was it like? It was a great goal. Really good goal. I mean, it was Brennan Johnson, but it was Zach Albazzetti's running, just phenomenal. Utterly phenomenal. Gary Cook said the same, I think, about Anderson liking space in the back, in behind, and he does. He does. I see some of Zach Albazzetti. He's had to be patient as well, hasn't he? Theo Archibald come in. Good player, in my opinion. Different player, maybe not quite as quick, more technical. Just so happy for Zach. So happy. I remember exactly where I was when I was told we'd signed Zach Albazzetti. I was given advance warning. I was at a train station at Newark. Scully shoots. Ooh, it's not a bad kick, that. Adam Leader likening Zach to Raheem Sterling. Zach just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Absolutely. Neil Carlton, my car doesn't go as fast as Zach. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've been out since Christmas. Oh, it's just, you know, George Grant, I know he's given that ball away. He's just played it into Ben Barkley, but it just makes everything look so effortless. It's well blocked from Gotts. I mean, Accrington haven't given this up. Fair play to them. They haven't let their heads drop. And, you know, let's face it, I've known games in the past where you've been 3-0 up and ended up drawing. Forest Green a few years ago, but it's not this Lincoln team. Not this Lincoln team. You'd hope. Excuse me. So just to recap, also in this competition, Hull and Sunderland through in the north section, with Leicester and Tranmere to play tomorrow. Peterborough through, they're 4-0 up at Portsmouth. MK Dons are beating Northampton. And Oxford, Cambridge, Bristol Rovers, Wimbledon are drawing 0-0. I tell you, name on the trophy. It's just Michael wants it. You know, he's lost twice in the final. And we don't have a reserve team. Oh, what's happened there? Cross has come in. That was Dion Charles has snuck in and put it over the bar. Quite surprised by that. What happened there? Sammer, I've criticised him. That's a good cross. Ooh, Jackson has just lashed out at that and kicked thin air. Interesting stuff. Rob Scott, evening pal. Imagine how good it'll be when we really start playing. Well, you know, Michael's saying we're not a finished product. I mean, just imagine when we are. It's not, do you know what? It's not, referee is a foul. Let's let play go on, fair play. Just imagine, you know, we're playing for such good football. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Robbie Gotts wants it. Still on the attacking right. Scully, lovely feet. He's going back for it again. He's just overrun it. Unlucky. Unlucky. Let's have a look. So, Sid, do you believe anyone going bid for Anderson this January? Because maybe Zach just fits straight in. I mean, they play arguably on different flanks. I'd like to see Harry stay at the club. I haven't heard any whispers or rumours. And again, you know, Harry offers something a little bit different. And there are games where, you know, it's not Howarth, sorry, he's fed in Gotts. He's won the ball. Howarth on the edge of the area. He's going to look for a shot, is he? Plays it out wide to the left to Albazzetti. Where's he going with it? He's going for a shot. And why not, son? And why not? It's corner. So yeah, I'd like to see Anderson stay. You need different tools for different jobs, and if team comes to defend against us and they sit deep, Zach Elbazedi's pace isn't going to be what we need to unpick that log. You need something a little bit more aggressive, and Harry can be more aggressive. He's strong as well. So I'd like to see him stay. Stillwell's interesting results. Good to hear some rivals aren't doing so great. I actually want to see teams get fixture congestion. I don't care. Don't care who comes through. I don't fear anybody in this competition. Adam Jackson heads straight at the keeper there. Don't fear anybody. That's not being bullish or arrogant. There's no reason why we should, because we're top of League One. So every team that's in this competition, bar the under-21s, are below us. What is interesting is that there's only one under-21 team left in the competition, which is Leicester's. Massive surprise. And this competition loses respect when the under-21 teams get to the final. That's, for me, that's when you go, actually, now we pack it in. So Accrington's still trying to create something, but they look clueless. Oh, that's a nice play from Eden. Confident in it. Where's he going? He's just got so much space. He's found Remy Howarth. Grant. Again, it's a sensible ball to Ioma. To Scully. Flash it. Oh, it's a perfect ball. Well, it's a good ball across goal. Zach, that's not going to run out. You're going to have to do something with it. Well played, lad. Got to the byline. That hasn't gone out. That's interesting. Grant. Oh, curls it over. Good play again. Sid says, fans say we need a forward team full of goals. Do you know what? I thought we needed a forward, but on the recent showing, the flexibility that we're showing is phenomenal. I mean, I'm not sure. Is it Remy Howarth gone up top as the 9? He has, hasn't he? Interesting. Connor Clark says 15 goals in the last 5 games if this stays the same. Zach again on the left. They're crapping themselves every time we get in these positions. I mean, we're fine here. Just hold the ball there. No rush. No need to push ourselves forward. No need to overexert ourselves now. 3-0 down. It's more or less game over. Gotts, nice ball out from Gotts. I think he's had a decent second half. Got his goal as well, which we'll be happy with. Ioma, that's not a great ball. Accrington try and bring it forward, but it's just not happening for them. So also in this competition, Wimbledon have now taken the lead away at Bristol Rovers. Rochdale's still winning 4-2. Paul says if it was a boxing match, the referee stops it. I agree, 100%. There's no let up at all here. Larry says it's 40k for qualifying for the next round. Yes, it is. Yes, that's what I'd read on the internet earlier, and if I read it on the internet, it must be true. Well played, Remy. And that's good money as well, especially if we are looking at doing a deal that we might have done in the summer. If we're looking at bringing it forward, 40 grand can go an awful long way. Adam Leader, did I read Accrington team have won 9 on the bounce? Let's have a look. I might soon be able to tell you. It's a decent ball. Or Scotty gives the ball away. Must be the first time this half. That's going to be a free kick. So let's have a look at Accrington's results for Adam. No, they've beaten Charlton, drawn with Blackpool. This is working backwards. Beaten Gillingham, lost to Wigan, beaten Man United under 21s, MK Dons, drew Shrewsbury. I mean, they've only lost 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 in 12. But remember, he's a weakened side. So, Don Clark, if Elbazedi had a better finish or final pass, he'd be a world beater. But again, he's a young player. It's like a lot of these players. So we're talking about them and we're kind of critiquing them as fans do and rightly can do. And you sometimes forget how young they are. And it's a case point was Teo Eden, because when you talk about Teo Eden, you think about an established professional. And before he had come to us, I think he'd started 4 league games, 3 in the Championship, or 4 maybe in the Championship, and that was it. So, for me, you forget that TJ Ayoma only made his Football League debut against Oxford for us, and you look at him now, and you're almost judging him and critiquing him as a player who's got 2, 3, 4 seasons behind him. Robbie Gott made his debut for us, and it's the same as Zach Elbouzedi. He played over at Waterford and he played a little bit for Inverness and that sort of thing. But he's still relatively new and relatively young. That's what's frightening, is that somebody asked the question earlier about which of these players are Championship quality. You never know until you get there, but they've all got space to grow. And Football Manager players will know full well, if you get a player with good promise and potential, they'll go through the leagues with you. And that's Football Manager is based on real life. It is possible to do that. Who was the player? A player at Bournemouth, I think, or at Southampton rather, when they came up, who played in all 3 divisions. Was it Adam Lallana was one of them? Played in 3 divisions for them. There's no reason why some of the players that we've got can't do that. I'm told it's Charlton 4-3 now. My browser hasn't updated that. And now I've clicked update, it won't tell me who the scorers are either. That's a pain. What are the games in League 2? Scunny 0, Bolton the drawing. Watching League 2 because results start going against them, and Grimsby are in serious trouble. I mean, Lincoln, we're just controlling this, and we're not, even though we're playing the football kind of on the edge of our own 18-yard box at the moment, we're just controlling it. Told Charlton's 4-4 now. What a game. Was it Rochdale that came back from 3-0 down at the weekend to draw 3-3? And they're now they're led, I think, 3-0 at one point, didn't they, in this game? 3-1. Here's Ayoma, he's breaking towards the 18-yard. He's going to shoot. Oh, it's miles over. You could see him itching to shoot there. Wow. So I'm told Sue Gray tells me that it's Schwartz that has now levelled for Charlton. It's not updating on the BBC website, which is a pain. That Schwartz is one of their new signings as well, I think. I really like TJ Ayoma. I mean, I say that about a lot of our players, but you look at Ayoma and, okay, you would argue that probably he's not going to play first team for Spurs. He could play in the Championship, no problem at all. So Ayoma, that's nice. He's fouled ref. So he's tried to play a lovely 1-2. I mean, Ayoma's played it into Grant. Grant's looked to play a 1-2 with Robbie Gott, and they've just taken Grant out. It's got to be a yellow card. It is the second, I think, of the game, potentially. I can't see who's been given that, thanks to the iFollow feed. There we go. Harry Arter signed for Bournemouth for 4K, apparently. There you go. And that's what I mean about some of our young players. And you can sign established players, and it worked really well for us when we came out of League 2. I'm never going to criticise the previous management. But when you get to this stage and you're Lincoln City, you have to have a change of plan. You have to have it. And the board will never admit it, but when we made the change last season, I think it was, you wondered if the relationship was, it's right across 6 yards. Great ball from Grant. Another corner. I mean, with 14 minutes left, I'll go on record saying it's game over now. Will Freddie Draper get a run out? And just going back, I think when the change came, I think we needed to change direction in League One, and with the money that we got as well, it was like ripping off a band-aid losing the previous management. But few could ever imagine that what would have happened since then. Well played, Remy Howarth. Elbouzedi now holds off his defender. Robbie Gott comes back to the halfway line now with Max Malburn. But again, it's just nice, patient build-up. Nice, patient build-up. Again, another Hull, Eddy and Ashby play for them in all 4 levels as well. Scully takes it off Ayoma's foot there. Robbie Gott, but it's just possession football, and it's decent possession as well. That'll be a corner. Another corner. I mean, even though Accrington have brought on all of their kind of big guns, and they've brought on 4 players, Charles, Butcher, Pritchard and Bishop, it hasn't actually changed anything. It hasn't changed a thing. Really hasn't. Remember, this is one of these, I think, are these the only ones that will catch us if they win all the games in hand? So he's going to strike that. Bridcott miles over. Dropped loose to Bridcott on the edge of the area. Took a nice step or two towards it and just struck it over the bar. Gary Cook said just about young players going through the leagues. Anderson coming on loan just got better, about 100%. Yeah, Harry came through the leagues. He's come up with us. It'd be interesting if he does stay and we did go up. He'd be the only Lincoln City player to ever represent the club at 4 different levels. I think we have only been at 4 different levels, and I think our times in the non-league and the other league was such that anyone else who had done it would have had to have been 17 at the first point and about 68 at the other. Craig Hollingworth says Gotts is having a blinder. Neil Carlton. Great dilemma for Mike Upton to have his thinking for the next league game, 100%. Kate, games in hand means nothing until you win them. Wrexham were always used to end up with 4 or 5, 6 games in hand before. Yeah, exactly. Quite right. There, I mentioned Sam Clucas. He has. I think the fact that the point was about doing it with the same team. But again, yeah, Sam Clucas is a classic example that as a young player you can develop and go through the divisions. And there isn't a single player in our team, kind of 25 downwards, who I would say cannot play in the Championship. And even when you look at Remy Howarth, who's, when I say fringe player, but you wouldn't rule it out. You wouldn't rule him out being a squad player in the Championship. Almost certainly this is a team that's being built for that. So in our competition now, Oxford are now beating Cambridge 1-0. So at the moment, Hull and Sunderland are through. We are looking like we're going through as Peterborough and Milton Keynes, Oxford and Wimbledon are all winning 1-0 as well. So there's a free kick, dangerous free kick on the edge of the area, probably 25 yards out. Matty Butcher was one over it. Oh, it's into the side netting. Not a bad free kick, to be fair. Not a bad free kick at all, but cheers. It's got warm. So 81 minutes, City leading 3-0. Zach Elbidozedi, Robbie Gotts, and Brennan Johnson. Just the one change so far for the City. Brennan Johnson went off, I think he'd taken a knock. Remy Howarth has come on. Sue Gray says, Harry will stay, got a place in a life here. Just a shame Reedy couldn't come up with us to League One. Yeah, huge. I like Harry Anderson. Do you know what? Interviewing him has been brilliant because I spoke to him, I think, when he was first in on loan as a young kid, and he was very tentative. So just a chance there for Accrington. Brave goalkeeping from Palmer. He comes out and takes it. And when I first spoke to him, he was a young lad. He was really kind of would stumble over his words. You'd get the same answer. You had to lead the questions a little bit. And every year since I've interviewed him, and I've just seen him kind of develop into just this cracking bloke. He's such a lovely lad. He's so honest. He's so kind of, innocent is the wrong word, but he's just so, what you see is what you get with Harry. He'll talk to you like he talks to anybody. Like I've spoke to him before when he's been shopping and things like that, doing the interview, and he's just so down to earth. He could be the bloke next door. And he's a good footballer as well, and he's developing well. So, Adam Leader looking after that drink like it's a new missus. I didn't want to leave an empty chair, mate, to be honest. That's why I've only had the one drink all night. I didn't want to leave you guys on your own. Jacob Langham, nice to have you on board, young man. I hope you're doing well. Harry is his favourite player. And I know Gav Hughes is a big fan. Gav's a big fan of Harry as well. Big fan. So let's, George Grant, he's opened it up for Zach. Wins a corner. Very quickly, who would you like in the next round? Who would you like to avoid? Well, on our side of the draw, it's Hull, Sunderland, and one of Leicester under 21s or Tranmere. I'd like Leicester under 21s or Tranmere because I think they're winnable. Hull, I'd probably like to avoid of all of them, but Hull or Sunderland would both be tough matches at this stage. Would be tough games. But let's not forget, at that stage when we won it, we got Peterborough, who were a League One side, so it means nothing. Corner comes in, keeper's going to claim that with ease. Pete Boggs, some competition for man of the match tonight. There is competition. I ought to pick one, I suppose, because it's tough. Because do you know what? There's not really been a bad player. There really hasn't. It's really tough. I mean, yeah, I think George Grant's been superb in controlling our attacking intent. Everything goes through him. I thought Anthony Scully had a really good first half. I think Zach Elbazak, even though he missed a couple of chances early doors, he could have had a hat trick, but he's been exciting on the wing as well. And Liam Bridcut, I think Brids has had a really good game. He's put himself about. He's barely put a foot wrong in terms of passing. Teo Edens had a good game as well. Yeah, it's particularly hard. Neil Carlton has asked what strength teams are Hull and Sunderland putting out. Well, Sunderland had Aidan McGeady and Aidan O'Brien score today. O'Brien hasn't been starting for them, but McGeady's a massive player. Hull had Malik Wilkes, he scored. Lewis Potter, but they both came off the bench, and Louis Coyle. So relatively strong sides they've put out. People looking at it will see that we put relatively strong side out as well. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a nice little ball from Gotts. Ioma's got himself in the challenge. Ball back across from Bridcut. That's Eden into Howarth. Go on, Remy. Go on, son. Go on, son. Oh, he's played out. That's got to be a foul, ref. 3 of them teamed Remy Howarth there. Oh, dear. Jackson slipped. That is a brilliant challenge from Liam Bridcut. Jackson slipped. Colby Bishop was in on the attacking left in the channel, and it was just perfect challenge. Perfect challenge from Bridcut. So Kev Barwise, his idea of man of the match. Albazzetti shades it from Brids and Grant. Stu Wells, Bridcut for me. Yeah, do you know what? I've got to think Liam Bridcut's been superb. He's been superb. And it's good to see because we want him like that in the league. And he had a shaky opening 20 minutes. Yeah, no shaky minutes on Saturday, but there we go. Oh, that's an awful ball from Zach Albazidi. Straight out of play. So Steve Thompson, who's he going to give his man of the match to? Let's have a listen. He's giving it to Zach Albazidi. So, yeah, it's fair play. So Zach Albazidi gets Tomo's man of the match. I think it's a pity because I think Anthony Scully actually has been quiet in the second half. Otherwise, he would have been a good shout for it because I think he's been superb. But for me, I think I'd give it. To Liam Bridcut narrowly from Zach Albazzetti, narrowly, and George Grant. I mean, they're the 3. Nobody's had a bad game. That's the point. Nobody's played badly at all. That's a beautiful ball from Gotts. Oh, who's in here? Anthony Scully fires over. Should have gone penalty spot. George Grant was on there. I mean, it was a wonderful ball from Gotts. It was the same ball that James Jones played a couple of weeks ago when everyone was praising Jones's ball. I can't remember the game now that it was against. It escapes me. When Scully broke free and scored, it's Burton, wasn't it? And it was just the same ball and it was the same run. And that just goes to show you it's the same patterns of play. Doesn't matter who's playing. It's the same sort of intent. That's good training, solid training. The players all understand what they should be doing. Stu Wells thinks Howard's showing his class since coming on. Sean thinks Zach for man of the match. Paul says 2 games from Wembley. I think most sides will be going strong. So I think that's in reference to who's playing strong teams. I'd agree now. I think we need 2 games from Wembley and when that money goes up as well. Eden. Oh, that's not. Oh, who's this? Oh, Scully. Eden. I mean, it was kind of a comedy of errors there, because I think Teo's ball across wasn't brilliant, and their lad slipped on it, and then it was Scully looked like he was going to go in, and he stumbled on it. Let's face it, it's 3-0, but certainly in the first half it could have been 6. It could have been 6 with the chances that we've had. Probably not quite as many clear cut in the second half, but we've certainly had plenty of efforts. A minute left plus injury time. Yeah, well, I think it's been well refereed. I think it's been played in a good spirit. But the better team. We've been the better team by a country mile. And I know that they went a little bit weaker, but they've had their big guns on now for 30 minutes. And, I think they've had one effort, Dion Charles, where Adam Jackson missed the cross. And that's about it. Let's have a look. Andrew Phillips, I know we've been unreal, but money on, wanting our finishing to improve. Absolutely, yeah, because we could have scored. I say we could have scored 6, and we could have scored 6. Oh, referee, that's got to be a foul. He's nudged the keeper. Interesting. Thank you, Sue. Just want to say thanks for an entertaining non-comedy live feed, interactive conversation. Great stuff. I appreciate that. Thank you. I was really nervous about doing one of these. They're not my thing. I don't mind doing a kind of my live shows and things, but a watch along just feels a bit egotistical. So I'm glad that people have enjoyed it. So 4 minutes of added time, and then I can disappear and get some non-warm orange juice. So Peterborough now winning 5-0. BBC website's a little bit behind. Big win for Peterborough, but they needed a performance, didn't they? They did. Oh, unlucky Zach. Can't quite take it down. Yeah, so I think we're into injury time now, obviously. I think just to summarise the game, we've just been excellent again. We've been as good as we were against Shrewsbury, if not better, because we've probably done it in both halves. And I think against Shrewsbury, we took our feet off the gas a little. Sorry, Sue says Grant's just scored. I hope that's not. Have I missed something? Yes, I have just missed something. I'm miles behind. 4-0 for City. Oh, that was terrible from Accrington. That was absolutely terrible. Really was. Silly mistake. So they're looking to play out from the back. Remy Howard's taken up a good position. The keeper's tried to take Howarth on, and he just played it straight to Grant on the edge of the area. But the thing is, Grant's still alive. You're deep into injury time. You've scored a 4th goal. Just excellent. Absolutely excellent. I'm going to take edit the ticker before we finish. 4-0. Grant gets his goal as well. Absolutely superb. So thank you. Enjoyed listening. Thank you for your different view. Andy Richardson, appreciated. Neil Kant says multitasking. Come on. We're going to get a 5th here. Howarth to Elbazedi. George Grant. Still going for it, still fighting. So good. It's hard not to get excited, isn't it? Look at Elbazedi there, 2 feet. 2 feet, just excellent. Dave Johnson says, fun hanging out with you guys, as close to a pub experience as we'd get. Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure, mate. Cheers, Gary, from John Clack as well. I'm pleased it's gone down relatively well. I really am. Is that gonna? It's got to be a corner, isn't it, ref? No, goal kick. Paul Creasy, you sir are a legend. Found this late or late watching from Canada. Hope you decide to do this again. Thank you, Paul. Potentially for another cup game. I don't really want to do it for league games unless it was demand, but it's not the sort of thing I really want to get into too much. Paul says cracking work, Gary Hutchinson. Thank you. Steve Leach, cracking evening, Gary. Many thanks. Thank you, sir. Stu Wells, been fun tonight, guys. You're a good lad. Stu, you are a good lad too. You're forgiven for all those earlier comments. So 20 seconds left. City leading 4-0. So Northampton's and Milton Keynes like they're going through. They're winning 1-0. Peterborough winning 5-0. Oxford winning. Wimbledon winning. Us, Sunderland and Hull through. And potentially Leicester or... Oh, here we go. Ref. Oh, Scully. Oh, it hasn't. He desperately wanted his goal. The ref's going to call the end to it there. That is the end. The full-time whistle. 4-0. Elbazedi on 32. Gotts on 53. Johnson on 62. And Grant 2 minutes into injury time. So we'll take that off. Sean has enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And we're through. Well done, boys. David Johnson. As a Newcastle and Lincoln fan, this is a welcome relief. Thank you, my friend. I'm pleased you've enjoyed that. So we will have a quick run through the other scores. I'm not going to stay too long after the game. Where's my banner gone? Did it never come back on? There we go. So to look at the other scores, yeah, certainly looks with 5 minutes left. Wimbledon certainly look like they're going through. Oxford are into injury time, 1-0 up. Peterborough certainly going through at 5-0. MK Dons, Northampton's only at half-time at the moment. In the National League, Tishimanga has scored for Boreham Wood. They're winning. Just a quick look to see if Reedy starts. He doesn't. He's not on the bench either. So there we go. Let's have a look. Bloody hell, there's a blast from the past. Great work, Yoz. That was a nickname of mine back in secondary school. That's my old mate Luke. Wow, I hope you're well, pal. We should, when things are normal, we should meet up and have a beer. Be good to have a catch up. Derek Carlisle, thank you. Well done. I'm just pleased that everybody liked it. So there we go. Look, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I've got an episode of Suits to finish watching. But it's a great game. 21 shots for Lincoln, 9 on target, 6 for Accrington, none on target. We had 7 clear-cut chances, 6 successful crosses from 15, 9 successful dribbles from 16, 58.3 possession, 6 corners to 3. We dominated this game from start to finish. Excuse me, our passing accuracy was 78%, 10% better than them. 73rd% was in the attacking third. Theirs was 53%, 14 key passes to 3. It was as complete performance as we've put in any of the other cup games. It was as good as Shrewsbury. It was as good as Bradford. It was as good as Forest Green. At times, the football was best described as sumptuous, absolutely superb. It should, in reality, we've won 4-0. It should have been 8-0 with the chances at the end as well. And look, I know that people will say about clinical finishing, but you've got to keep creating chances to score, and we will get better. We will keep creating chances, and we will score chances. It all bodes very, very well because it's £40,000 in the bank. We're through to the next round, where we will play one of Sunderland, Hull, or Leicester City, and Leicester City or Tranmere. Leicester City under 21s. Fingers crossed, Leicester City under 21s at home. We'll roll them over into the semi-final a week later, and then you've got one of the big guns. Easy. So Wembley is calling. Thank you very much for watching. Absolutely, really enjoyed it. Really great experience. I won't keep you any longer than I need to. I may struggle to write up the game actually tonight, so you might get your write up tomorrow. But thank you very much and good night.